Very good morning to all of you. So much for joining me. And thanks for a beautiful warm welcome to the event. Some of the things that I wanted to just really briefly cover it for you. One question that I wanted to ask you, you have like amazing speakers who are asking for like completely technical and they are amazing job. Why do you think your Madam Shrenu and your college wants a development manager to come and speak to you? Any guesses? There should be some thought, right? They can bring an architect, they can bring a full stack developer, they can bring so many of them that you can get creative with. What do you think is the idea that stuck to them to get a person from a management background to come and speak to you about the AI piece here? Let me take that. So, what is the first thought that runs across all your minds when you look at this image? What is the first thing that crosses all of your minds when you see this? Yes. Now it's such a myth that is going on, right? From a 5-year-old child to an 80-year-old person just speaks that AI is doing everything. AI does some magic. AI is everything. Okay, fine, done. But what it is, are we just building something out of blue and putting it up there? No. AI has brought in many things way more stronger and foundational than what we were using previously. Let's go back, say, like I should say I have like 16 years of IT experience. Let me go back to 16 years the way I started. I started my journey as a simple QA engineer. So what were we doing there? We were doing product testing manually. And of course, it was a tool that could be easily put into automation. So we were doing QA automation. Can it be done even today? Yes. Easily created even today. Definitely yes. Okay. No matter how much of complex agents we write, whatever the agents can automate, can the basic legacy part of your SDLC lifecycle change? Definitely no. So whatever you're creating a strong base is about all the data that you have. It could be about the various applications. It could be whether a new product that you're building. Many people have this myth that any AI application that is written is modern and new. Definitely no. Because I think we have a mixed crowd here, like some of the industry experiences and some of the students are here. On the call, I'm like, maybe I'm not sure what is the mixed experience level. So here I want to bring in to this call how the journey of SDLC, whether you're on a SaaS application, whether you're on an on-prem application, how
next excuse. Can you come?
You put the entire cycle in place, how it could be better streamlined. So, like as I put it up here, what it does, of course, these are all like it's explanation where you need AI power tooling. Previously, it was manual engineering. Then we took AI assistance to do it, and now it is slowly becoming autonomous. So a little bit of fundamentals. There are 3 strong things that governs the whole thing. One is what is your Gen AI?
Hello.
What is your AI agents do? And then what is Agentic AI? Many people randomly use tools. This is one thing that I've observed. When we go then making it more theoretical or letting you know how technical to do things. I would like to share it more experience based and where mistakes are happening today, so that those corrections are something that make your products or other things feel better. Or if you can see the right side, you have different tools and things like progress for examples to your GenAI, AI agents, and Agentic AI. Each one of them have a different role.
Now it's not
For example, if I open ChatGPT or something similar, and then I would like to practice Spain, for example, it will give me, okay, wow, happy shoulder to assist you. It will tell these are the 5 main places you can go here. So what is it doing? It is simple and it also gives you some text and images and all that. It is as good as your what your Google search engine does, but in a little better way. But now, if I can ask, if I just modify the question and I ask, can you also tell me how, what is the temperature of that? Can I travel in the month of May? So now what your ChatGPT or the generative AI will do, it will catch hold of some agent. Because what agent you need here, maybe like your AccuWeather or some APIs that will give you the weather information. So next you modify your search. After you modify your search, what will you do? You specifically ask, can you tell me the best time to travel in the month of, say, May and June, where there is no rainfall, and also I have a cheap aircraft, the fare is not very expensive, it's good on my pocket, and also the crowd should be less. Now, will your first case really work? No, you need to bring a complex model in place where you need to know the weather, you need to know the booking, you need to know the crowd sourcing, like how much of crowd is there, like all these systems have to talk to each other correctly in the right order and give you the right output. So you're doing all these things. So now when you put all these things together, then that is when your whole thing of your agents to try so relay your AI and model starts to each other. Having said this, so this is just to sum up whatever I told in the previous fashion. It is a pragmatic shift that you need from co-pilots or agents. Most of we guys are engineers or industrialists or educationalists, where we are somebody with a strong technical background. The co-pilot ChatGPT is for people who are not from technical background. Even my parents use ChatGPT to kind of. In fact, people use ChatGPT often just to express their emotions. Like, hey, I'm not feeling sleepy, can you make me sleep? ChatGPT will do that for you. Trust me, right now, if you're not sleeping sometime, it will help for you. But you're no big deal. Okay, let's take a simple example. Most of us know that Git is a version controller. So anything that we start with positioning your thing on the Git tag, you have a requirement. Simple. So the SDLC life cycle, what is the very first thing that we all have to do? Have your requirement. Even before Agentic comes, where it comes from, even 20 years back, in my software engineering class, the first thing that was taught to me is your requirement should be fine. Once your requirement is fine, everything is sorted. So let's go back to this. So previously, what was your big co-pilot? I think some of you can even go back and look on this. What is a big co-pilot? Which does everything very seamlessly now. So this is mainly just how it orchestrates. And once you have your Git issue created, there will be a planning agent that will get started. Then that will get routed to either sequential based on how the agents have to talk to each other or the parallel. Now just go back to the same Spain example that we guys do. So now the system cannot, the first, where you want to just book the air tickets and find out the sequential flow can work. Where you have a lot of things to process and understand the requirements, then we need this parallel workflow. Of course, you need the history, the user profile, and other conversational things that your ChatGPT is doing, have you seen it? Of course, you have your observability methods and everything is definitely sitting on your then if you just take away all the guardrails, so because the governance and all the guardrails will be in place, that everything would be passed to the system. For example, that comes with the requirement analytics, where you are taking care of the more like you should not miss on giving right details to your agents. So so that's why it's going back to the first one.
Emphasize on the last question.
Things have got better, working is changing. You have to find the next even to
Emphasize that
way back and way now has to be more clear.
when they answer,
What
and
is
it's trying to
is to only make sure that the ambiguity is and then create a better generations and to map the governance to look all I'm sure most of you have read about the RAG systems where the documentation is can scan these and this is not good amount of this matrix that you know how will your system work rightly for your requirement analysis. Audits. Think of SDLC, it will come to I'll come to a strong point when I put all these things together. How you are thinking as an engineer for a work.
So we have
So, yes.
this kind of code. Okay, we will talk at last. But who will use the quiz 1, quiz 2, quiz 3?
So you say this like how a protocol can be better, how your automated code review can be happened. So previously, whenever what your agents do. So it is not about just writing code.
Online people are saying people are not it's easy.
Today, the agent is actually for demo that would be better. When you pass the agent file into, and through that, entire file that is passed is where you are actually, handling your boilerplates, writing complex logics, running the business for you and giving. Related to the not exactly a remote, your walkthrough kind of thing. That will help you guys to understand this and explain the same concepts to do that. This is something that is quite interesting. So, people who have never used AI or the non-engineering side of it, they say this very easily. I really love AI. 300% of my code can be written and executed in AI. Can I increase and what purpose with AI? The answer is not so simple. People who use any cloud systems or any kind of a development lifecycle that is in place, today they know it's so AI. AI does wonders, and there is a lot of execution that's not. So it's not choosing the right LLMs, what is really how much hallucination or AI is.
Other participants.
The second thing is, many people feel so much stuff. When you actually start using each of your AI tools, you feel that wow, it's solving a problem like this. When you pass one file, when you pass 2 files, yes. When you pass 1,000 files, okay. When you pass 10,000 files, then it's a system. It's still learning. It's a continuous development. There is a hallucination in place. So, how we use the tools and what is the roles of the different, the different people. Like, that's the reason that I'm here. as I usually client was speaking about it. A code, a tester would look at it before, a code will be. So with all this in place, as executives and work for IBM, we brought in a tool called IBM Bob. What is Bob do? That's a simple icon. So it will help you do everything. It will help you debug. It will help you ship, right? Your entire SDLC in a streamlined way is completely done by Bob. It can build, it can show and show you how it does. That's the reason, I think the specific reason why I skip the theoretical part of this like that. I think definitely share it across to very easily. So let's see how it does and what it does. So it clearly explains that analyzing your requirement. That is, what is your technical plan in place? And what is the design? How do you develop its deployment? Perfect implementation. How each of these phases are actually how do you plan this need exactly to fit into this? So this whole thing, when it comes to design phase, you can have an architectural blueprint. If I give you a simple example, if I want to know in my cloud, for IBM cloud, it's given time frame. Say for last 3 months, how many regions were down? What is it? If I give it in one sentence, and if the right APIs are passed through, it will create a dashboard. It will give me the live data. It will also give me the streaming within minutes. Everything. You will see a local host out there with the white paper limit. So how your NLP, so how your natural language requirement passed correctly, and how if your APIs are integrated, you will have a perfect document. So this is when you want to build something small. Now let's look at how do you manage a complex code base or bigger projects. In a very big state, how do you manage this? Before that, there will be a very classic example of a realistic example where you can think of one. Now, think of your Zomato app. Okay, in Zomato app, we all know that if it is, say, during your weekends or some holiday season, or it could be during your match, suppose it is late or something during your annual season, see a lot of ads, a lot of things that we spike now. How do you think they're all managing this in the background? So this is one piece of advice that I give in every mentoring session to every intern I talk to every college when I go to. Because I know I have done, personally, I have done more of design and career coaching along with, the Agentic AI is something that I'm very as new, but still getting along with you all because I've already doing it through one piece of advice that I give each one of them is know your fundamentals the best. Nothing is going to change there. Okay. So when you look at your Zomato app, so you have say like a weekday or a weekday. We say on first Saturday, you observe that the number of biryani orders say has gone up. Zomato has seen a good problem. The restaurant owner is delivering it. It could be maybe Jaikas or Maggies or whatever you are seeing across even Nagarjuna or whatever, all the tables in Bangalore, that all was normal, they are seeing a good difference. Will this stop here? No. That is the difference where Agentic AI has to develop. Will they stop? No. What will they do next? The next part is they will wait for which is the next weekend or which is the next holiday season that they can bring more profit. That is how your business will grow. Because it's money and business. So what they will do? They will deploy 3 more agents. 3 more agents analyze the requirements that they have, right? From requirement, your endpoint, also on the cloud infrastructure side, how do you want to increase your bandwidth? How do you want to increase the revenue? Make the agents talk to each other. It could be a booking agent, it could be a like restaurant agent, it could be, all the agents that are talking to each other to make the business successful. And then they will be launched on then they see the business emerging. Then there will be maybe some offer with the bank. So now you come back to the initial example that we took for generative AI, where that booking of your Spain ticket along with your mobile app, along with so many things actually happen at that. So this is the same way. Any whether it is tourism, whether it is like Zomato in this case, it is all how you are making your agents talk to each other. In order to do that, each cycle of your SDLC has to fall in place perfectly. Okay. So yes, welcome to Bob. So as I said, it is an agentic workflow. It has like a specialized modes, like how you were playing this beautiful game before I came in, right? Or creating avatars. There is a very this is one that plays a very avatar specific role in it. I'll tell you how. I'll come back to this slide again. In this, because I want to show you guys this. If you can see this, it is not built only for developers. Irrespective of the role you do, if you are a product manager, what it does your requirement documentation, it does your feasibility, it makes sure that you have your API contact with. On the other hand, developer QA is a stream through application because it does everything. Like development, like the code, like the QA. I'll give you a live example. I work for a product called Aspira. So Aspira is a product that is fast transfer. All of us watch Netflix. At what speed the Netflix gets transferred the data, it is because of the product the same. They use IBM Aspira. So the same way, last year there was Olympics, France TV did a live telecast. So that used Android. So we see, it's not like I'm talking about Android. Where I'm talking to is, mine is an old legacy application, which is 20 years old, having customers who are very comfortable to use the way my product is. It is written in Ruby, which is most of as you know, it's not like one of the modern languages. They are very comfortable. Now tell me, will I get into an AI mode, or will I put all my business and customers into this by introducing AI into it, or choose a combinational path? I would definitely choose a combinational path. But yes, as an engineer, what did I do? On play, the security has suddenly started playing a very, very crucial and important role. So for every piece of code we use, so previously if you look at a very classic example, your front end used to be one language, your back end used to be another language, you had a database in the background which used to talk to each other. And everything put together was a streamlined communication that used to happen. You were getting a very powerful UI and it's done. It's no longer like that in any of our modern applications. You have to make sure that your governance is in place. For example, if I am using a Ruby course, I have to make sure that all the latest gems and languages that are used are updated. You cannot, for a simpler analogy, if you are on the latest Java version, your application, you cannot use J-5 version of Java to make sure you install. So checking your vulnerabilities, checking your code, is very important. So what's it? And scan lakhs of lines. So what the topic is the human time just error is done. So right applications for modern applications, how long it is going to take. So that is something that is done through AI and end-to-end agents like Bob, where I can add my product code, mention that I see my entire version to get bumped from version X to X plus one. Try to and the existing QA test cases that are there, which is compatible to your previous OS version, should actually get incompatible. I'm telling you with my own experience, what 1 year back, my team who reports into me were taking 3 months to do. Once this Bob came in and they delivered within 15 months. That too, they are parallel casting. It's like not that they're doing only that, they are also doing many other things in this. So that is where practically today AI is. Or practically using Bob where we are able to play something. Not only for now, as a manager, I don't sit and write code. I'll be very frank, because I don't have that much time. What do I do? What do I use it for? What should I want it for? Of course, I use it for project management. I use it for management. I use it for interviews. I use it for understanding the customer request. So now if I, the APIs, if I connect to a pool of maybe like a tool called service now or somewhere, when you have an entire pool of incoming tickets of your various customers, within minutes it is going to be okay. Amazon had 5 issues. 2 issues were genuine, 3 issues were their own environment. Done. We have to actually manually download the entire into Excel, do the analysis, solve the values, and then give the entire output to it. So that is the part and the strength that we are trying to achieve. So you see, right from Agentic if you are marketing, it can help you in each phase of the innovation. So this is my demo not to the separate demo community video. So if you, when you ask something like explain about this application, it gives you the entire purpose of what this was built for. So if you have a plan, code, that can actually explain for the architecture of it. She's an RPM.
Yeah, captain.
What's the PPT? A video and then come back to the presentation.
इधर है प्रपोजल अभी लखनऊ में अभी परमानेंट हो गया ना
The trial license of Bob is like open to all. Anybody can use the trial license. Or just go and like type bob.ibm.com or IBM Bob, which is open to this. You can get free trial license here or you can download. And then what do you do with it? Okay, see here. Go into the actual development and so if you see the simple thing, this particular function did not have a validation of so you could insert a manual comment or telling that add email validation for this. So when you execute it, it is being handled.
So मैम बोलेगा कि
So this is like, this is the most favorite thing, language example that we have. So the next thing you need is the real-time code review, how it is done. So this demo here, you see, if you will expose a certain file and do the code review here. So you will start reading the whole thing And it also displays, similar to how we can know what is the series of steps that the Bob is performing in the background. So you start debug, it will start debug the application and also give you what you want to get into and change there. So the second thing that you saw here was on the code review side. And then here, if you want to use your AI as your entire pipeline. So it is not confined only for so you can write, you can either use it as a or use it as a shelter. So what it does is once you put your entire application into your shelter from the next working environment, alongside of like at every stage of development, you have both in your local and then directly through to the production. This entire thing of having the pipeline phase is something that gets streamlined here. So this is of course, there are some other user reviews and other things that we have here. And there is one video that I wanted to see.
My laptop there.
Oh, there's a guy. Hey, do you use Bob?
Yeah, I love Bob.
Do you use Bob? Yeah, I do. Can we talk to you?
Yeah, take a seat. It's really changed the
So tell them I was referring to the next
way that my team works.
I do like working with Bob. Yeah, it's very quick, efficient, solves all my needs, easy to work with, and it's very user-friendly.
I'll take Bob and just point it directly at my code base and use it as my everyday IDE.
I think it is. Bob's making me a better developer. I told Bob, okay, Bob, we have all of these GitHub issues. I need you to give me one file per container. Give me all the criticals, give me all the highs, and give me a...
Use Bob?
Yeah, I love Bob.
Do you use Bob? Yeah, I do. Can we talk to you?
Yeah, take a seat. It's really changed the way that my team works.
I do like working with Bob. Yeah, it's very quick, efficient, solves all my needs, easy to work with, and it's very user-friendly.
I'll take Bob and just point it directly at my code base and use it as my everyday IDE.
I think it is. Bob's making me a better developer. I told Bob, okay, Bob, we have all of these GitHub issues. I need you to give me one file per container. Give me all the criticals, give me all the highs, and give me a plan of remediation. And Bob went in and did it.
Bob can go and look for some of the problems, logs, way faster than I could, and search for things in those logs that it's aware of that cause problems for the infrastructure.
I was able to replicate this template platform that will save a lot of time for our team. Bob allows us to deliver quicker.
And I'm going to be alternating between the different modes that Bob has. So it may have an orchestration mode or planning mode or coding modes. And so I'll be switching between the modes as appropriate for the task at hand.
It's definitely making my days a lot more productive by giving me time to not have to do those things that are always repetitive.
When I have code and somebody doesn't quite understand, they can then use Bob themselves and say, Bob, tell me about this code base. Tell me in this code base how it works.
And the code might be legacy code, like a 10 years old code. And writing a test for a 10-year-old code and with a small change, it's going to be a very difficult job for the developers to try to understand the 10-year-old code and then write a test for it.
And I think it also helps to prevent bugs because it's just too many lines of code. You might miss something.
Bob has really accelerated our programming, has really helped us turn out a lot of good code.
On our team, everyone, product management, design, engineering, even our executive are all using Bob. We have designers that are creating functional prototypes. We have engineers that are writing specs. So everyone is able to do more parts of the process that wouldn't have been feasible in the past.
Yeah, Bob is really cool.
And fast.
It's a game changer. It does save time.
Yes. So, in the nutshell, what it actually does is it can be used for various use cases, right from testable usability, from feature development, your API integration, your modernization of the code. Modernization of the code is something, even on a personal note, I've experienced. It's not simple. All of us are used to use old data. Now take an example of even your WhatsApp or Instagram that most of us use. Say 3 years down the line, all the libraries that currently today, not even three, you could say even 1 year down the line, the current APIs and the code base and the libraries that WhatsApp or your Insta is using today will go old. It will be vulnerable. You cannot use it. Your security scans will fail. Your all your guardrails, which is the most key thing in your agentic cycle, will totally fail at that. How will they improve, or how will anyone improve, is to have an end-to-end thing implemented by modernization of application. So having the entire SDLC right from your software development till how you deploy it, and also continue to maintain it to work in the same speed and efficiency, is what SDLC in agentic AI today is. And of course, Bob is one of the tools like that. I use this for my demo and talk today because we use this in and out, and that was my comfort factor to demo. Like in the very first slide, when I put it up, you have like tons of tools that you can do each one of it. So today, each there are so many like freelancers of so many products, even Google, your Anthropic, your like the cloud systems, everything is improving. Now if you come back, all these slides will make way more sense after we saw the example of SDLC through agentic AI. Yes, I'm just saying the last 2 minutes that I've put to, if I can cover something to conclude, and I'll definitely pass these slides around. Yeah. This diagram is not coming up. Okay. So if you see, the very first thing, the overview is how your natural language generation happens, your advanced coding, and then also how your literate coding happens. That is your natural language to invoke your real source files and also invoke your AI coding, your inline nativity, and also your prompt enhancement. Having said that, next comes if you look at the development IDE cycle, right? It will be very good if your IDEs are directly connected to any of your Teams or Slack or a messaging tool. So this particular prompt of having the context mentions about the Git changes, about the new deployments that happen, about the failures, about the success, is one of the key features that today your agentic AI models actually do. And you did have a very good session on the MCP. He's covered pretty much in detail about how we need different connector protocols, where this plays a the MCP server and the client protocol that it is set up today is the main key things that how agents talk to each other. So like going back to our classic example of whether Zomato or your Spain booking, how does we have APIs from each other? Like how does each of this agent talk to each other, and how the communications happen between them to and fro is all the MCP integration code that you actually write in the simple terms. And then of course your custom integration and your modernization that we spoke about. And then of course the other things are like the powerful tooling systems, the Git overflow, the slash commands and Bob, and then security, code review, checkpoint, and thing. So this is like more of a conclusion part where end to end what is achievable and what can be done. So yes, this is about it. I'll stop here. Like of course, It's a massive time saver. It is way more intelligent than me for sure. It's versatile and it understands your work and you know what it is doing. It is not like processing something in the background that you have to wonder what is happening in the background and based on that, try to just consume the input. So if you feel that the output is getting trained in a different way and you want the processing to be done differently, you can still tell Bob, why don't you, semantically do something better than this, and it will dynamically change. The dynamically changing the AI systems based on the need is something that is very unique and it works out. So yes, on dot, I have finished. This is my LinkedIn like scan code. And then yes, I'm reachable on LinkedIn. It was too much to cover for me in 30 minutes. So I think there was a little bit of staggering between the slides, but definitely I'll share the slides, I'll share the Bob link, I'll share many things. And we could do one thing, if ma'am, if you're okay, I could take the questions later so that you have question like time for the other part of it. So anything, because there are a lot of slides that I actually skipped because of the 30 minutes time constraint that I had. I can maybe answer those questions through the slide, which is being maybe covered later or skipped. So I am there after the session and after the group discussion that you have with the panels here. You can definitely come and I'm open to questions. And I'll get back to you on whatever I know here. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, can we have a big round of applause? And one small token of, I think, how many of you downloaded Bob now? How much it is free? It comes with LLM tokens.
Yeah,
we can use it unlimited.
No, it's not, nothing is unlimited, madam, sorry. So there is a free license and we have something called Bitcoins. So up to a certain Bitcoins is something that they can freely utilize. After that, yeah.
Then you have to buy license.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
That time they will get back to their co-pilot and tell, okay, I'm happy with Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah.